Stand up and pay attention, because who you become matters more than what you have. Imagine waking each morning with clear purpose, feeling the steady beat of your heart, and a quiet certainty you can handle whatever comes. Do you want people to trust you and open doors without you asking? This video gives practical steps you can use today to build confidence. Define values and act with honest purpose and see immediate positive changes. You will learn how to face uncomfortable truths. Ask hard questions and create routines that protect your focus. You will practice small wins that grow into belief and learn to speak so others feel heard and respected. Be willing to make sacrifices that produce rewards you can feel, and commit to growth most people avoid. Watch closely and leave with a clear plan you can act on now and the courage to attract true success. Number 1, build unshakable confidence by mastering small daily wins. Confidence is the foundation of every success story. Without confidence, you cannot move forward. You cannot take risks, and you cannot achieve what you are truly capable of. The first step to building unshakable confidence is to focus on small daily wins. Success is not something that happens overnight. It is not something you stumble upon by luck or chance. Real success is earned through consistent action and repeated victories over the challenges you face each day. When you start winning at small things, you train your mind to believe that bigger challenges can also be conquered. Every time you complete a task, finish a project, or overcome an obstacle, you are reinforcing your belief in your own abilities. This belief is more valuable than money, more valuable than education, and more valuable than opportunity. Confidence comes from action, not from wishing or hoping. Start by setting simple goals that you know you can achieve. It could be waking up at a consistent time, finishing a small task you have been avoiding, or improving a skill by dedicating a few minutes every day. These small wins accumulate. They give you proof that you are capable. They show you that when you commit, when you follow through, you can produce results. And these results matter. They shape how you see yourself and how others see you. People are drawn to those who can act and deliver. Confidence is magnetic. When you believe in yourself, others begin to believe in you too. Every morning, take a moment to look at the day ahead and decide which small actions will lead to accomplishment. Break down larger tasks into pieces you can finish. When you complete each piece, recognize it. Celebrate it quietly but meaningfully. This is not about arrogance. This is about acknowledging your effort and proving to yourself that you are capable. This habit of recognizing your wins builds a foundation for trust in your own abilities. Trust in yourself is what prevents fear from controlling your decisions. Fear cannot dominate a person who has proven to themselves time and again that they can handle challenges. Confidence is also built through discipline. The human mind often seeks shortcuts and avoids discomfort. But avoiding challenges does not make you stronger. Taking consistent action even when it feels difficult or inconvenient strengthens your mental and emotional muscles. Discipline is the bridge between potential and achievement. By committing to small actions every day, you are training yourself to overcome procrastination, distraction, and hesitation. These are the enemies of confidence. Each time you resist giving up, each time you push yourself to complete a task you are tempted to leave unfinished, your confidence grows. You begin to carry a sense of quiet assurance that cannot be shaken by external circumstances. Another essential aspect of building confidence is preparation. Confidence is not about pretending you are capable. It is about knowing you are capable. Preparation is proof. When you prepare for tasks, for conversations, for presentations, or for challenges, you give yourself the ability to respond rather than react. Preparation allows you to walk into situations with clarity and composure. It removes doubt and reduces anxiety. A prepared person is naturally confident because they have invested the time and effort to equip themselves with the knowledge, skills, and strategies necessary for success. It is equally important to recognize that failures and mistakes are part of the process. They are not proof that you are incapable. They are information. They are lessons that guide you toward improvement. Every successful person has faced setbacks. The difference is that confident people use those setbacks as fuel. They examine what went wrong, they adjust their approach, and they move forward stronger. Small wins are not only about completing tasks, but also about learning and improving every day. Each lesson learned is a victory over ignorance, fear, and doubt. Confidence also comes from taking responsibility. When you take ownership of your life, your choices, and your actions, you gain control. Control creates certainty, and certainty builds confidence. People who blame circumstances or others for their failures rarely attract success because they lack the inner assurance that they can influence outcomes. Success is drawn to those who accept responsibility because they are seen as reliable, capable, and determined. When others can trust your ability to handle responsibility, opportunities come to you naturally. Action is another crucial element. Confidence grows when you act decisively. Thinking about success, planning endlessly, or waiting for the perfect moment does not build confidence. Action does. Action creates evidence that you are capable. Start with what is within your reach. Take steps every day that move you closer to your goals. As you act and achieve, even in small ways, your confidence compounds. Over time, you develop a pattern of behavior that others notice. People start seeing you as someone who can deliver results. They are drawn to your energy, your decisiveness, and your reliability. Self-awareness is also essential. Confidence is not arrogance. Confidence is a clear understanding of your strengths and weaknesses. It is knowing where you excel and where you need improvement. By being honest with yourself, you can focus on developing skills and habits that increase your effectiveness. Self-awareness prevents overconfidence and the mistakes that come with it. It allows you to approach challenges strategically and calmly. People respect those who know themselves and are willing to improve. This kind of confidence attracts opportunities, mentors, and partnerships. Another important factor is persistence. Confidence is strengthened by the habit of not giving up. When you commit to daily action and refuse to quit in the face of obstacles, you develop resilience. Resilience creates a sense of certainty that nothing can derail your progress permanently. When you encounter setbacks, instead of being discouraged, you analyze, adapt, and continue. This perseverance is visible to everyone around you. People are inspired by it. Success is drawn to those who do not stop because they face difficulty. Confidence also requires positive reinforcement. Surround yourself with people who encourage, support, and challenge you to grow. Avoid those who constantly doubt you or drain your energy. The people you spend time with influence your mindset and your self-perception. When you are around those who recognize your efforts and achievements, you internalize their belief in your abilities. This social proof reinforces your confidence. At the same time, seek feedback that helps you improve. Constructive feedback allows you to refine your skills and become more capable. Finally, confidence grows from consistency. Small wins are powerful, but they only compound when repeated every day. Commit to daily practices that strengthen your abilities, discipline, and mindset. Whether it is learning, improving, exercising, or taking small actions toward your goals, consistency builds trust in yourself. Confidence is not an emotion that comes and goes. It is a state of being cultivated through repeated action, reflection, and improvement. Over time, it becomes unshakable. People notice this strength, and opportunities naturally gravitate toward you. Unshakable confidence is not a gift. It is a skill developed through action, preparation, persistence, and honesty. It begins with small wins each day. By committing to these small victories, taking responsibility, preparing, acting decisively, and remaining consistent, you build a foundation that no external circumstance can easily shake. You become a person others trust, respect, and naturally want to be around. Opportunities find you because your confidence signals that you can handle them. Success is attracted to people who act with assurance, who trust their abilities, and who demonstrate reliability and persistence in everything they do. Start each day by choosing actions that prove your capability. Complete tasks you set for yourself. Learn from mistakes and adjust your approach. Seek feedback and embrace growth. Refuse to let fear dictate your choices. Commit to tenacity, persistence, and preparation. Take responsibility for everything you can control. Each of these actions builds confidence that grows stronger over time. This is the kind of confidence that draws success. This is the kind of confidence that allows you to take opportunities others avoid. This is the confidence that changes your life. By focusing on small daily wins, you create a track record of achievement. This track record becomes proof to yourself and to the world that you are capable. You begin to attract people, resources, and opportunities that align with your growth. Confidence becomes a magnet for success. You do not have to force it. It develops naturally as you continue to act, improve, and commit. Unshakable confidence is not a theory or an idea. It is the result of deliberate, consistent, and focused effort applied day after day. Confidence is not something that can be borrowed. It must be earned. Earn it by completing small tasks, taking responsibility, preparing carefully, acting decisively, learning constantly, and never giving up. Each victory, no matter how small, compounds into a powerful sense of assurance. This is the type of confidence that attracts success. People notice it immediately. Opportunities follow it. Your life changes because you have demonstrated to yourself and to the world that you are capable of handling more than you thought possible. This is how you become the person who attracts success. Unshakable confidence begins today. It begins with the small wins you can achieve right now. Take action, embrace responsibility, remain consistent, and trust yourself. Each step you take reinforces your belief in your abilities. Over time, this belief becomes unshakable. This is the confidence that drives results, that commands respect, and that opens doors. This is the confidence that allows you to stand tall in every situation and take control of your destiny. This is how real success begins. Number 2, develop clear values that determine every choice you make. Values are the compass that guides every decision you make in life and defines the person you become. Without clear values, every choice is a gamble, and every action becomes uncertain. People drift through life, trying to make the right decisions, hoping for good outcomes, and yet they struggle because they lack a firm foundation. Developing clear values is not optional for anyone who wants real success. Values are not rules imposed by someone else. They are your principles, the standards you hold for yourself that determine how you act, what you pursue, and the type of life you create. When your values are clear, decisions become simple because they are aligned with who you are and who you want to become. The first step to developing clear values is understanding yourself deeply. Examine what matters most to you in every area of life. Consider your relationships, career, health, personal growth, and contribution to the world. Ask yourself what principles you cannot compromise on. Identify the traits you admire in others and the behaviors that inspire respect. This reflection is not a one-time activity. It requires honesty, focus, and repetition. Values become powerful only when you recognize them fully and commit to living by them consistently. Once you identify your values, make them actionable. Values are not abstract concepts to be admired from afar. They are standards that influence every choice you make. For instance, if integrity is a core value, every decision you make should reflect honesty and transparency. If growth is a core value, every opportunity you pursue should push you to learn, improve, and challenge yourself. Clear values serve as filters. They help you say no to what does not align and yes to what propels you forward. This clarity simplifies your life and gives you energy because you are not wasting it on distractions or compromises that erode your principle. Living by your values requires courage. The world often challenges your standards. People may disagree with you, criticize your choices, or pressure you to act differently. Acting according to your values may not always be popular or easy. Yet, when you honor your values, you build credibility and respect. People notice when someone stands firm in their principles. They trust those who live by their word and act consistently. Success is attracted to those who are reliable and consistent because they are seen as individuals who can be counted on in critical moments. Values also serve as a measuring stick for growth and success. When your decisions consistently align with your values, you know you are on the right path. When choices conflict with your principles, it signals a need for reflection and adjustment. This awareness is crucial because it keeps you from wandering aimlessly or being swayed by temporary gains that compromise your character. True achievement is not about wealth or recognition alone. It is about becoming the person you respect and trust. Someone who makes choices confidently because they are grounded in clear values. Developing clear values requires removing what does not serve you. Many people live in confusion because they have inherited beliefs or followed societal expectations without evaluating their relevance. They allow other people's priorities to dictate their decisions. To clarify your own values, examine what you have been doing and question why. Are you acting from your own standards, or are you responding to external pressures? This process may feel uncomfortable because it challenges habits, loyalties, and assumptions. Yet discomfort is necessary for growth. The clarity that comes from defining your values outweighs the temporary unease of questioning old patterns. A strong value system also improves your relationships. When your values are defined and visible in your actions, people know what to expect from you. Boundaries become clear, expectations are transparent, and trust is strengthened. You attract individuals who share your standards and respect your principles. Conversely, those who are incompatible with your values naturally move away, which protects your energy and focus. Living by values filters the chaos around you and creates alignment in your personal and professional life, making success more achievable because your energy is directed toward meaningful goals and relationships. Decision-making becomes easier when values are clear. Life is full of choices, many of which are not obvious or simple. People who lack values are easily influenced by emotions, trends, or other people's opinions. Those who know their values make decisions decisively because they know the outcome they want to achieve and the standards they refuse to compromise. This decisiveness reduces stress, prevents regret, and accelerates progress. It allows you to act swiftly and confidently, because every choice is a reflection of who you are and what you stand for. Values also fuel persistence and resilience. Challenges are inevitable. Obstacles test your commitment to your goals and your integrity. When your decisions are rooted in strong values, you are less likely to be derailed by adversity. You continue to act because you are anchored in what you know is right and meaningful. Values provide motivation beyond immediate results. They give purpose to your work, discipline to your habits, and clarity to your priorities. People who operate without values often quit when things get difficult because they lack a strong enough reason to continue. Clarity of values strengthens personal confidence. When you know what you stand for, you do not rely on external approval to validate your choices. Your standards guide your behavior, your actions, and your interactions. This internal compass produces a quiet but powerful self-assurance that others can feel. Confidence rooted in values is resilient because it is not shaken by criticism, competition, or temporary setbacks. People are drawn to individuals who demonstrate integrity and conviction because these qualities signal reliability, competence, and trustworthiness. Developing clear values also enhances your focus. When you know what matters most, you are able to prioritize effectively. You spend less time on distractions and more time on actions that align with your principles and goals. Clarity prevents wasted energy and attention. It ensures that every effort you make contributes directly to the life you want to build. You naturally filter opportunities, tasks, and relationships, keeping only those that are consistent with your standards. This focus produces results faster and more efficiently than scattered effort guided by uncertainty or indecision. Values are not static. They must be evaluated and refined over time as you grow and experience life. You may discover new priorities, new insights, and new lessons that influence what is most important to you. Continual reflection on your values ensures that your actions remain aligned with your evolving self. This flexibility does not weaken your principles. It strengthens them because you are actively choosing them rather than passively following inherited or outdated standards. Living consciously according to values is the hallmark of personal power and long-term success. Practical application of values begins with daily choices. Start each day by asking yourself which action aligns most closely with your core standards. Evaluate your behavior in real time and adjust when necessary. When faced with difficult decisions, use your values as the guiding question. Does this reflect who I am and who I want to become? Over time, this habit becomes automatic. Your values become the default operating system for your life. Decisions are made quickly, confidently, and consistently in alignment with your highest priorities. Clear values also enhance accountability. When you know your standards, you can measure your own behavior honestly. You are able to evaluate whether your actions reflect your principles. This self-accountability encourages improvement and growth. It prevents excuses and rationalizations. It ensures that your successes are authentic and that your achievements are built on integrity rather than luck or manipulation. Success built on values is enduring because it is aligned with reality, not temporary circumstances or external validation. Values also give meaning to your goals. Goals without values are empty targets. They may bring temporary satisfaction, but they do not sustain motivation or personal fulfillment. When goals are rooted in values, every step taken toward them feels purposeful. Every effort contributes to becoming the person you respect and admire. This connection between action and principle energizes you, fuels persistence, and inspires others. People are inspired by those whose achievements reflect their values because it demonstrates authenticity, strength, and leadership. Developing clear values is the single most powerful step toward attracting success because it creates clarity, confidence, focus, and integrity. It transforms decision-making from guesswork into certainty. It strengthens relationships and builds trust. It ensures that your energy is directed toward what matters most. Values guide actions during moments of pressure, provide a framework for personal growth, and create a life that reflects your highest standards. People notice when someone lives by their principles. They are drawn to it. Opportunities gravitate toward it. Success follows it. The process begins with reflection, honesty, and commitment. Identify what matters most, define your standards, and live by them daily. Apply them in every choice, in every interaction, and in every challenge. Evaluate regularly and refine when necessary. Do not compromise on your core principles for temporary gain. Let your values define who you are and the actions you take. Let them determine the life you create. When you do this, you become someone people respect, trust, and naturally want to work with. You become the person who attracts lasting success because your life is aligned with your deepest principles. Living by clear values is not optional. It is essential for meaningful achievement. Every action, every choice, every relationship, and every goal should be examined through the lens of your values. The more you act in alignment with these principles, the more power you gain over your life. The more clarity you achieve in your decisions, the stronger your confidence becomes. The more consistent your behavior, the more opportunities and success are naturally drawn to you. This is how you create a life of purpose, integrity, and lasting achievement. Number 3, adopt a brutal honesty with yourself to accelerate personal growth. The moment you stop lying to yourself is the moment your life begins to change. Brutal honesty is not comfortable. It is not easy. It challenges every excuse, every rationalization, and every story you tell yourself to feel safe or justified. Most people avoid looking at themselves honestly because the truth can be painful, inconvenient, and humbling. Yet growth cannot happen without truth. Every step forward in life, every real improvement, every meaningful achievement requires a clear-eyed understanding of who you are, where you stand, and what is holding you back. Self-deception is the enemy of progress. Brutal honesty is the fuel for transformation. To adopt brutal honesty, you must first examine your daily habits without judgment or excuse. Track your actions, your decisions, and your results meticulously. Look at what you accomplish and what you avoid. Ask yourself why you procrastinate, why you settle, and why you sometimes act against your own best interests. This process is uncomfortable because it forces you to confront your weaknesses, your fears, and your failure. Many people avoid this examination because it is easier to blame circumstances, other people, or lack of opportunity. Yet every avoidance keeps you stagnant. Growth requires facing yourself fully, even when the truth is uncomfortable. Brutal honesty demands accepting responsibility for every outcome in your life. It means acknowledging that your choices, your actions, and even your inactions have consequences. It is easy to rationalize failures as being caused by others or external factors. It is much harder to say, I made a mistake, and I need to fix it. Yet this level of accountability is what separates people who achieve from those who complain. When you are honest about your role in creating your current situation, you gain control over your future. You realize that improvement is in your hands and that no one else is responsible for your growth or your setbacks. Another critical aspect of brutal honesty is acknowledging your limitations. Many people overestimate their abilities and underestimate the effort required to succeed. Recognizing your weaknesses is not a sign of failure. It is a strategic advantage. When you know what you lack, you can seek the resources, skills, and guidance needed to improve. Denying your shortcomings only prolongs struggle and delays results. Honest self-assessment allows you to set realistic goals, develop effective strategies, and make informed decisions that lead to genuine progress. Brutal honesty also requires examining your mindset and beliefs. Are the stories you tell yourself true, or are they convenient lies that protect you from discomfort? Many people convince themselves that success is about luck, timing, or connections, while ignoring the work, preparation, and discipline required. Others believe they are capable but secretly sabotage their efforts through fear or avoidance. Honest reflection exposes these lies and allows you to replace them with reality-based thinking. When your beliefs align with facts, your actions become more powerful and effective. Facing your fears is a natural consequence of brutal honesty. When you are truthful about what scares you, whether it is failure, rejection, or inadequacy, you reduce their power. Fear thrives in denial and uncertainty. When you confront it directly, you gain perspective and control. Acknowledging fear does not eliminate it entirely, but it allows you to act in spite of it. Courage is born from this clarity. Each time you take action knowing your fears and limitations, you reinforce self-trust and accelerate personal growth. Brutal honesty also strengthens decision-making. When you see your circumstances clearly, you can make choices based on reality rather than wishful thinking or avoidance. Decisions become faster, sharper, and more aligned with your goals. People who are dishonest with themselves often delay decisions, make excuses, or follow ineffective paths because they cannot admit the truth of their situation. Honest self-reflection creates clarity, and clarity creates momentum. Every choice becomes an opportunity to improve and move closer to the life you want to create. Emotional honesty is equally important. Many people avoid confronting uncomfortable feelings because they are painful. Resentment, shame, guilt, and fear are difficult to face. Brutal honesty requires recognizing these emotions without suppressing them or projecting them onto others. When you confront your feelings openly, you understand the motivations behind your behavior. Emotional clarity allows you to act intentionally rather than react impulsively. It gives you control over your responses and strengthens your resilience in the face of challenges. Brutal honesty also requires feedback. Honest reflection is important, but you cannot see everything yourself. Seek input from people who will tell you the truth, not just what you want to hear. Mentors, peers, and coaches who provide candid feedback help you see blind spots and accelerate growth. Accept criticism with an open mind and a willingness to improve. Defensive reactions only slow progress. True growth is the combination of internal honesty and external feedback, applied consistently to your life. Another critical component is consistency. Brutal honesty is not a one-time effort. It must become a habit. Daily reflection, examination of actions, and acknowledgement of mistakes and successes create a pattern of continuous improvement. Each honest moment compounds into stronger self-awareness, better decision-making, and increased effectiveness. Over time, this consistency builds a foundation for long-term personal growth that cannot be shaken by temporary setbacks or external pressures. Honesty also improves relationships. When you are truthful with yourself, you are more likely to be truthful with others. People respect those who are accountable, aware, and authentic. Trust is built on honesty, and trust attracts opportunities, partnerships, and support. Relationships based on pretense or denial eventually fail, but connections rooted in honesty and clarity strengthen over time. Being honest with yourself allows you to engage with others more openly, build credibility, and inspire confidence in your actions. Brutal honesty accelerates learning. Every mistake, failure, and success contains a lesson, but only if you are willing to see it clearly. Denial and rationalization obscure these lessons, causing repetition of errors and wasted effort. Honest evaluation allows you to extract insights from every experience, adapt strategies, and refine your approach. Growth is not accidental. It is the result of disciplined observation, reflection, and adjustment, guided by truth. Self-deception delays progress and inflates frustration. People who avoid honesty often blame circumstances, others, or perceived lack of resources. These externalizations create a sense of helplessness. Brutal honesty shifts control back to you. When you face the facts, you see what you can change, influence, or improve. This clarity brings empowerment. It allows you to act decisively, take responsibility, and create measurable improvement in your life. Brutal honesty also fosters humility. Recognizing your limitations, mistakes, and areas for growth keeps you grounded. Humility is not weakness, it is strength. It opens the door to learning, collaboration, and deeper self-understanding. People who are dishonest with themselves often overestimate their abilities and miss opportunities for growth. Humility allows you to accept feedback, learn faster, and refine your skills. It makes you teachable and adaptable, qualities essential for long-term success. Adopting brutal honesty creates a feedback loop of accountability, improvement, and confidence. Each truthful assessment of your actions and mindset builds insight. Each insight applied through deliberate action produces results. Each result, in turn, reinforces your ability to see yourself clearly. Over time, this loop strengthens self-trust, clarifies your path, and magnifies your potential. It is not easy, but the payoff is profound. Your life begins to reflect reality rather than illusion, and you gain the ability to influence outcomes with precision and purpose. Brutal honesty requires courage every day. Confront excuses, acknowledge failures, face fears, and recognize weaknesses without flinching. It requires rejecting comforting lies and embracing uncomfortable truth. This courage produces clarity. Clarity fuels focus. Focus drives consistent action. Action produces results, and results accelerate personal growth beyond what wishful thinking or superficial effort can achieve. People who adopt this level of honesty become leaders in their own lives. They create opportunities, inspire trust, and attract success because they operate from reality, not denial. To practice a brutal honesty is transformative. It strips away illusions, excuses, and rationalizations. It illuminates your potential and exposes the gaps between where you are and where you want to be. By confronting the truth of your habits, skills, decisions, and mindset, you gain control over your life. You learn faster, act more decisively, and make every day a step toward improvement. Growth becomes measurable, deliberate, and unstoppable, because it is grounded in reality rather than wishful thinking. To accelerate personal growth, adopt brutal honesty as a daily habit. Examine actions, confront fears, recognize weaknesses, accept responsibility, seek feedback, evaluate emotions, and adjust behaviors consistently. Embrace discomfort as proof that you are facing the truth. Measure progress honestly and refine strategies relentlessly. Over time, this practice produces a version of yourself that is capable, confident, and resilient. You attract opportunities because you operate from reality, not illusion. Success naturally follows the person who sees themselves clearly, acts decisively, and refuses to hide from the truth. Brutal honesty is the fastest path to growth. It is challenging, humbling, and demanding. Yet it is the foundation of transformation. Every moment you choose truth over denial, you strengthen self-awareness, decision-making, and effectiveness. You build trust, earn respect, and cultivate influence. The person who practices brutal honesty daily becomes unstoppable because they know exactly who they are, what they can do, and what must change. This is how personal growth accelerates, how potential is realized, and how success becomes inevitable. Number 4, master communication that makes people feel heard and respected. The ability to communicate effectively is one of the most powerful tools you can develop to create influence and attract success. Communication is not just about speaking clearly or expressing your ideas. True mastery of communication is about making people feel heard, valued, and respected. Every conversation you have is an opportunity to build trust, strengthen relationships, and create impact. People respond not only to what you say, but to how you make them feel. When others feel understood and acknowledged, they naturally open doors, share opportunities, and align with your vision. Mastering this skill transforms every interaction into a stepping stone for personal and professional growth. Listening is the foundation of effective communication. Most people think communication is about speaking, but speaking alone has limited impact if it is not accompanied by listening. Listening requires attention, patience, and the intent to truly understand the other person. It is more than hearing words. It is noticing tone, observing body language, and interpreting emotions. By actively listening, you signal respect. You show that the other person's perspective matters. When people feel genuinely heard, they are more receptive, cooperative, and open to dialogue. This simple act of attention builds influence, credibility, and deep trust. Clarity in communication is equally important. When you speak, your ideas must be clear, concise, and purposeful. Avoid overcomplicating your message with unnecessary details or jargon. Simplicity in expression ensures that your audience understands your point without confusion. People respect clarity because it demonstrates confidence and preparation. Clear communication reduces misunderstandings and creates efficiency in both personal and professional relationships. When others can follow your ideas effortlessly, they are more likely to support your vision and collaborate with you. Empathy amplifies communication. Understanding the emotions and experiences of the person you are engaging with allows you to connect on a deeper level. Empathy is not about agreeing with everything the other person says. It is about acknowledging their perspective and validating their feelings. Phrases like "I understand how you feel" or "I can see why this matters to you" carry immense weight when delivered sincerely. Empathy opens doors that logic alone cannot. It creates rapport, reduces conflict, and strengthens influence. When people sense that you care about them as individuals, your words carry more power and your actions create alignment naturally. Nonverbal communication is as important as the words you use. Your tone, facial expressions, gestures, and posture all contribute to how your message is received. Confidence in your body language reinforces credibility, while open and respectful gestures convey attentiveness and sincerity. People are highly perceptive to these subtle cues, often more than the words themselves. When your verbal and nonverbal communication align, your message becomes authentic and compelling. Misalignment, on the other hand, erodes trust and diminishes impact. Mastering both aspects ensures that your communication is fully effective and persuasive. Questions are a powerful tool in communication. Asking thoughtful questions shows that you are genuinely interested in the other person's perspective. Open-ended questions invite dialogue, encourage participation, and create connection. Questions demonstrate curiosity, humility, and engagement. They also give you valuable information that can guide your responses and actions. Skilled communicators use questions strategically to build understanding, explore challenges, and discover opportunities. By guiding conversations with well-chosen questions, you position yourself as someone who values input and seeks collaboration rather than imposing ideas unilaterally. Feedback is essential for meaningful communication. Effective communicators provide constructive feedback in a way that respects the other person and encourages growth. Feedback should be specific, actionable, and delivered with the intent to improve outcomes, not criticized personally. At the same time, receiving feedback with openness and gratitude strengthens relationships and builds trust. People feel valued when their contributions are acknowledged and when feedback is framed respectfully. Mastering feedback ensures that communication fosters development rather than creating defensiveness or resentment. Consistency in communication builds credibility. People trust those who communicate reliably, follow through on promises, and express themselves consistently over time. Inconsistent communication generates confusion and doubt, while steady, thoughtful interaction signals reliability. By consistently making people feel heard and respected, you create a reputation for integrity and approachability. This reputation opens doors, attracts opportunities, and strengthens influence. Trust, once built, becomes a powerful magnet for collaboration, leadership, and long-term success. Adaptability enhances communication effectiveness. Different people respond to different styles. Some prefer direct, concise interaction, while others respond better to patience and storytelling. Observing and adjusting your approach based on the person and context ensures that your message resonates. Flexibility does not mean compromising your values. It means tailoring delivery to maximize clarity and impact. By adapting to others, you demonstrate respect for their preferences, strengthen engagement, and increase the likelihood of achieving desired outcomes. Confidence strengthens communication. People listen more attentively and respond positively when the speaker demonstrates conviction and assurance. Confidence is developed through preparation, self-awareness, and experience. When you speak with authority without arrogance, your words carry weight, inspire action, and instill trust. Confidence also allows you to manage challenging conversations calmly, articulate ideas under pressure, and maintain credibility even in disagreement. When combined with empathy, clarity, and active listening, confidence transforms communication into influence that others naturally respect. Storytelling can enhance connection when applied authentically. Sharing experiences, lessons, or insights provides context and relatability. People engage with stories more than abstract ideas. Stories create emotional resonance and make your message memorable. The key is authenticity. Your experiences must reflect truth and relevance to the audience. Storytelling demonstrates vulnerability, expertise, and insight, which strengthens respect and emotional connection. Effective communicators balance facts, emotions, and relevance to inspire understanding and action. Silence is a powerful aspect of communication often overlooked. Pausing before responding shows thoughtfulness and gives space for reflection. Silence allows others to express themselves fully without interruption. It signals that you value the conversation and are not rushing to assert your own perspective. Using silence strategically reinforces respect, promotes active listening, and enhances the overall quality of interaction. Mastering the rhythm of speaking and listening ensures that your communication is impactful and considered. Conflict management is a critical skill in communication. Differences of opinion are inevitable, but the ability to navigate disagreement respectfully preserves relationships and creates constructive outcomes. Focus on the issue, not the person. Listen first, respond thoughtfully, and seek mutual understanding. Effective communicators transform conflict into opportunity for problem solving, collaboration, and strengthen trust. People are drawn to those who handle disagreement with integrity and composure because they create safe and productive environments. Mastering communication requires practice and self-reflection. Review interactions regularly and consider what worked and what could be improved. Observe responses, body language, and outcomes to refine your approach. Seek opportunities to engage with diverse individuals and situations. Continuous improvement in listening, speaking, and connecting ensures that communication becomes second nature. Over time, this mastery strengthens influence, builds lasting relationships, and attracts opportunities because people want to engage with someone who makes them feel valued and understood. Emotionally intelligent communication strengthens bonds and encourages collaboration. Recognizing the impact of your words on others and adjusting your approach accordingly demonstrates awareness and maturity. Emotionally intelligent communicators can navigate sensitive topics, provide encouragement, and manage reactions effectively. People respond positively to those who communicate with empathy, clarity, and emotional awareness. This awareness builds loyalty, respect, and alignment, all of which are essential for long-term personal and professional success. Communication mastery is a combination of skill, awareness, and intentionality. Every interaction becomes an opportunity to build trust, demonstrate respect, and foster influence. By listening actively, speaking clearly, showing empathy, observing nonverbal cues, asking meaningful questions, providing constructive feedback, and adapting to context, you create a magnetic presence. People are naturally drawn to those who make them feel understood, valued, and respected. Opportunities, partnerships, and leadership follow because communication shapes perception and builds credibility. Every conversation is a chance to strengthen your reputation, deepen connections, and attract success. Mastering communication requires consistency, practice, and commitment. The more you focus on making others feel heard and respected, the stronger your influence becomes. The ability to communicate effectively creates alignment, opens doors, and generates trust that others cannot easily ignore. This skill is not optional for anyone serious about achieving meaningful results. Communication mastery transforms ordinary interactions into pathways for opportunity, leadership, and impact. Mastering communication begins with awareness, intention, and action. Prioritize listening over speaking. Speak with clarity and confidence. Show empathy and understanding. Adapt to your audience. Reflect on interactions to improve continuously. Handle disagreements with integrity. Use stories and silence strategically. Seek feedback and embrace growth. Each step you take to enhance communication strengthens influence, builds credibility, and positions you as a person others naturally respect and want to collaborate with. Number 5, create daily routines that protect your energy and focus. Energy and focus are the currency of achievement and the foundation of every meaningful accomplishment. Without them, even the best plans, skills, or opportunities fail to produce results. The first step to taking control of your life is creating daily routines that protect both your energy and your focus. Energy is not unlimited, and attention is fragile. Every choice you make either preserves or drains these resources. Small, deliberate habits repeated consistently shape your capacity to perform, think clearly, and act decisively. A structured daily routine is not a restriction. It is a framework that empowers you to reach your potential. Begin by examining your natural rhythms. Everyone has periods of high energy and mental clarity during the day. Identify these times and dedicate them to your most important work. Avoid scheduling low-priority tasks during peak hours. Protect these periods from interruptions, distractions, and low-value activities. When you align your work with your energy, productivity becomes effortless and focus deepens. This intentionality ensures that your efforts yield maximum results rather than being scattered and inefficient. Morning routines are a cornerstone of energy management. How you start the day sets the tone for the hours ahead. Incorporate activities that enhance physical vitality, mental clarity, and emotional stability. Exercise, even briefly, stimulates circulation and energizes the body. Mindful practices such as journaling, planning, or meditation sharpen focus and reduce stress. Nutrition plays a critical role. A balanced breakfast fuels sustained energy and prevents midday crashes. A consistent morning routine creates momentum, establishes control, and signals to your body and mind that the day is structured for success. Protecting your focus requires minimizing distractions. Every interruption fragments attention and reduces efficiency. Create an environment conducive to deep work. Silence notifications, organize your workspace, and set boundaries with others regarding your availability. Limit exposure to activities that drain mental energy, including excessive social media, unnecessary meetings, and unproductive multitasking. By controlling your environment, you preserve attention for what truly matters, enabling sharper thinking, faster problem solving, and more deliberate action. Energy is influenced by lifestyle choices. Sleep is the most fundamental factor in maintaining high levels of focus and vitality. Prioritize a consistent sleep schedule that allows for full restorative cycles. Depriving yourself of rest not only reduces physical energy but also diminishes cognitive function, decision-making, and emotional resilience. Hydration and nutrition also affect energy levels. Consuming processed foods, excess sugar, or caffeine spikes followed by crashes reduces sustained performance. A daily routine that incorporates adequate rest, proper nutrition, and hydration protects your energy and supports consistent productivity. Breaks are essential to sustaining focus. The human brain cannot operate at maximum capacity indefinitely. Structured breaks recharge mental energy and prevent burnout. Short pauses during work sessions, longer breaks for meals, and moments for reflection or movement allow the mind to reset. These intervals increase concentration when you return to critical tasks, improve creativity, and reduce stress. Building breaks into your routine is not wasted time. It is an investment in maintaining performance throughout the day. Planning and prioritization safeguard both energy and focus. Begin each day by identifying the most important tasks that will drive results. Avoid reacting to urgent but low-value activities that drain energy and dilute attention. Use lists, schedules, or digital tools to organize your tasks and track progress. Structure your day around priorities rather than distractions. When you know exactly what requires your focus and why, you reduce mental clutter, make quicker decisions, and conserve energy for high-impact activities. Evening routines are critical for replenishing energy for the next day. How you end the day affects sleep quality, mental clarity, and readiness for tomorrow. Incorporate winding-down activities such as reading, reflection, or light stretching. Disconnect from electronic devices and reduce exposure to stimuli that disrupt sleep and increase stress. By creating a deliberate evening routine, you allow your mind and body to recover fully, ensuring that you start each day with restored energy and focus. Time blocking is a powerful strategy for routine creation. Allocate specific periods for work, exercise, meals, learning, and rest. Treat these blocks as inviolable appointments with yourself. Scheduling in advance reduces decision fatigue, minimizes procrastination, and reinforces discipline. By dedicating fixed times to high-value activities, you protect focus from competing demands and maintain a steady flow of energy throughout the day. Over time, this structure becomes habitual and automatic, creating a framework for consistent high performance. Energy management also requires setting boundaries. Protect your time and attention from people or activities that drain vitality. Learn to say no without guilt to requests or commitments that do not align with your priorities. Respect your limits and communicate them clearly. When others recognize that you value your energy and focus, they respect your boundaries. Conserving mental and physical resources allows you to be fully present and effective in your most important engagement. Routines should include moments for learning and personal growth. Engaging in reading, skill development, or reflection daily strengthens the mind, enhances perspective, and prevents stagnation. Scheduling this time ensures that growth is consistent rather than sporadic. When your mind is challenged and expanded regularly, focus sharpens, creativity improves, and energy is directed toward meaningful pursuits, rather than distractions or trivial tasks. Energy is also affected by emotional health. Stress, unresolved conflict, and negative thought patterns drain mental capacity. Incorporating emotional regulation practices into your daily routine preserves focus. Mindful breathing, journaling, and brief periods of meditation or reflection help process emotions, reduce mental clutter, and maintain mental clarity. Emotional discipline is as critical as physical energy management because unaddressed stress undermines both attention and decision-making. Physical movement throughout the day maintains both energy and focus. Extended periods of sitting reduce circulation, increase fatigue, and diminish concentration. Incorporating brief walks, stretching, or standing intervals refreshes the body and mind. Exercise improves blood flow to the brain, increases alertness, and supports sustained performance. Integrating movement into your routine ensures that energy levels remain high and mental clarity persists throughout demanding tasks. Review and reflection are vital components of daily routines. Take time each day to evaluate accomplishments, identify challenges, and plan adjustments. Honest reflection allows you to identify what drains energy and what enhances focus. Adjust routines accordingly. Continuous improvement of your daily structure ensures that energy and attention are optimized for long-term performance. This deliberate feedback loop turns routines into a powerful tool for growth, productivity, and resilience. Routines must balance discipline and flexibility. Overly rigid schedules can create stress and reduce creativity. Overly loose schedules lead to inconsistency and inefficiency. The goal is to create structured habits that protect energy and focus while allowing adaptability for unforeseen demands. Flexibility ensures sustainability and prevents burnout, while discipline ensures progress. Effective routines find the equilibrium between structure and adaptability, supporting consistent performance without sacrificing well-being. Intentional transitions enhance energy conservation. Shifting from one task to another can be mentally draining if done abruptly. Plan short rituals between activities to reset focus and prepare for the next task. This could include a few deep breaths, a brief stretch, or a quick review of priorities. Smooth transitions maintain energy levels, reduce mental fatigue, and enhance concentration. When these transitions are consistent, your mind remains sharp and alert throughout the day. Routines also extend to information consumption. Excessive exposure to irrelevant news, social media, or low-value content drains attention and distracts from meaningful work. Create intentional practices for what information you allow into your mind daily. Limit time spent on digital distractions and focus on content that educates, inspires, or directly supports your goals. Protecting cognitive energy in this way ensures that your focus is reserved for tasks that drive results. Accountability strengthens routine adherence. Sharing your daily goals with a trusted mentor, partner, or peer encourages consistency and discipline. Accountability ensures that routines are followed even when motivation wanes. The presence of accountability fosters responsibility and reinforces the importance of protecting your energy and focus. Combined with self-monitoring, it creates a powerful system for sustaining productive habits and maximizing performance. Consistency is the ultimate multiplier. Daily routines compound over time. Small actions repeated consistently build momentum, preserve energy, and sharpen focus. Routines reduce decision fatigue, minimize wasted effort, and allow high-level cognitive resources to be dedicated to critical thinking, problem-solving, and creativity. The cumulative effect of protected energy and focused attention leads to breakthroughs, accelerated achievement, and sustained success over the long term. Creating daily routines that protect energy and focus is not optional. It is essential for anyone who wants to perform at their best consistently. Every element from sleep, nutrition, and exercise to planning, boundaries, reflection, and emotional regulation contributes to maintaining the mental, emotional, and physical resources necessary for high performance. Over time, these routines transform ordinary effort into extraordinary results, create resilience against stress, and attract opportunities because you operate from a position of clarity, vitality, and readiness. The discipline to follow structured daily habits shapes every aspect of your life. Energy fuels action. Focus amplifies impact. By designing routines that honor both, you become unstoppable in pursuit of your goals. The decisions, habits, and actions you take each day compound into mastery over your time, mind, and life. When energy is protected and focus is preserved, you are not just surviving the day, you are creating a life of progress, achievement, and fulfillment. Number 6, cultivate curiosity by asking hard questions and accepting answers. Curiosity is the engine that drives learning, growth, and the discovery of new opportunities. Without curiosity, people settle for what they already know, repeat the same mistakes, and miss chances to expand their potential. Cultivating curiosity begins with the willingness to ask hard questions. Questions that challenge assumptions, uncover blind spots, and reveal uncomfortable truths. These are not casual or easy questions. They are inquiries that demand honesty, reflection, and courage. Asking hard questions forces you to examine yourself, your decisions, and your beliefs. Accepting the answers, even when they are difficult or inconvenient, is the key to genuine personal growth. Many people avoid asking hard questions because they fear what they might learn. They stick to safe inquiries, repeat familiar routines, and avoid the discomfort of confronting uncertainty or failure. Growth, however, is born from discomfort. Every answer you discover through rigorous questioning expands your awareness and gives you tools to improve. Curiosity requires honesty, openness, and humility. It is not about pretending to know everything or seeking validation. It is about a relentless pursuit of understanding yourself, your environment, and the actions required to achieve meaningful results. To cultivate curiosity, start by examining your assumptions. Every person carries beliefs about what is possible, what is right, and what they are capable of. Some of these beliefs are helpful, but many are limiting. Ask yourself why you believe what you do. Are your assumptions based on facts, evidence, or past experience? Are they influenced by fear, habit, or convenience? When you challenge assumptions honestly, you uncover areas for improvement, new strategies, and hidden opportunity. Every hard question you ask yourself dissolves uncertainty and sharpens your ability to act effectively. Curiosity also thrives on observation. Pay attention to patterns, behaviors, and results in your own life and the lives of others. Notice how people succeed, fail, and respond to challenges. Ask questions about why outcomes differ and what factors contribute to those differences. Observation without judgment provides raw material for learning. Question what you see, analyze it critically, and seek to understand the mechanisms behind results. This process builds insight, strengthens decision-making, and encourages experimentation that leads to tangible progress. Accepting answers is as critical as asking questions. Many people seek insight but reject it when it challenges their comfort or ego. Growth does not occur in denial. When you receive answers, even ones that expose flaws, weaknesses, or mistakes, embrace them with honesty and willingness to act. Avoid rationalizing, deflecting, or dismissing the truth. Accepting answers requires courage, humility, and self-discipline. Each accepted truth becomes a stepping stone for improvement, a guide for smarter decisions, and a tool to increase your effectiveness in life and work. Curiosity is also a habit that must be cultivated intentionally. Make a practice of asking yourself reflective questions daily. Examine your actions, results, relationships, and progress. Ask questions like, what did I do well today? What could I have done differently? What patterns are holding me back? What opportunities am I overlooking? These hard questions uncover insights that are otherwise hidden by routine, comfort, or distraction. The discipline to inquire regularly creates a mindset that actively seeks growth rather than passively reacting to circumstances. Listening plays a central role in cultivating curiosity. Seek answers from others, experts, mentors, and diverse perspectives. Listen without judgment or defensiveness. Avoid filtering information through preconceived notions. Genuine curiosity requires absorbing information as it is, not as you wish it to be. People respond positively to those who ask thoughtful questions and listen deeply because it signals respect, intelligence, and openness. The insights gained from attentive listening expand your understanding far beyond what you can achieve alone. Curiosity also requires embracing uncertainty. Many people resist asking hard questions because they fear the unknown or the potential for discomfort. Growth is inherently uncertain because it exposes gaps in knowledge, capability, and understanding. When you accept uncertainty, you open yourself to exploration, experimentation, and learning. Questions reveal what is hidden or overlooked, and answers provide a map to navigate unfamiliar territory. By welcoming the unknown, curiosity transforms fear into opportunity and indecision into action. Persistence strengthens curiosity. Asking hard questions once is insufficient. Continuous questioning uncovers deeper truths, repeated insights, and more refined understanding. Treat each answer as a starting point for further inquiry. Build layers of knowledge through consistent exploration and critical analysis. Over time, persistent curiosity creates mental flexibility, innovation, and adaptability. People who cultivate this habit see possibilities others miss and act decisively, based on a richer, more accurate understanding of reality. Curiosity drives problem solving and innovation. When you ask hard questions about challenges, obstacles, or inefficiencies, you identify root causes rather than surface symptoms. Effective solutions require understanding the true nature of problems, and this understanding comes only from deliberate inquiry. Accepting answers equips you with actionable insights to implement solutions confidently. Those who shy away from hard questions settle for partial solutions or temporary fixes. Curiosity enables deeper, sustainable, and more impactful results. The emotional component of curiosity cannot be ignored. Asking hard questions may trigger discomfort, frustration, or doubt. Accepting answers may challenge self-perception or reveal areas needing improvement. Emotional resilience is required to face these responses constructively. When you develop the ability to remain composed, reflective, and solution-focused, curiosity becomes a source of empowerment rather than anxiety. Emotional management ensures that inquiry leads to growth, instead of self-criticism or stagnation. Curiosity is reinforced by reflection. After asking questions and accepting answers, take time to analyze implications, patterns, and lessons. Journaling, discussions with mentors, or deliberate self-examination strengthens comprehension and application. Reflection transforms raw insight into actionable knowledge, ensures retention, and guides strategic action. People who fail to reflect on answers limit the benefit of their inquiry. Reflection converts curiosity into clarity, strategy, and measurable progress. Learning from failure is a crucial application of curiosity. When results do not meet expectations, ask hard questions about why. What decisions, habits, or assumptions contributed to the outcome? Accept the answer fully without blame or excuses. Failure is an information-rich experience when approached with curiosity. It illuminates gaps, clarifies priorities and drives adaptation. People who embrace this process accelerate personal growth far beyond those who avoid hard questions in the face of setback. Curiosity enhances relationships and influence. Asking meaningful questions signals genuine interest in others and demonstrates respect for their knowledge and experience. Listening carefully and accepting answers creates connection, builds trust, and encourages collaboration. People are naturally drawn to individuals who seek understanding, value insight, and act on information responsibly. This relational aspect of curiosity amplifies impact, opens doors, and attracts opportunities that would otherwise remain inaccessible. Curiosity also protects against complacency. Without questioning, habits, beliefs, and routines calcify. Curiosity forces continuous reassessment of assumptions, goals, and performance. It encourages experimentation, learning, and improvement. By maintaining a mindset of inquiry, you avoid stagnation and remain adaptable to changing circumstances, emerging opportunities, and evolving challenges. This vigilance ensures that growth remains consistent and deliberate. Developing curiosity requires discipline. It is not sufficient to ask occasional questions. Inquiry must be intentional, structured, and consistent. Allocate time to reflect, study, and probe deeply into your life, work, and relationships. Record insights, track patterns, and implement changes based on discovered truths. Discipline transforms curiosity from a fleeting trait into a powerful, reliable driver of growth and success. Ultimately, curiosity coupled with acceptance of answers transforms potential into performance. Asking hard questions identifies gaps in knowledge, understanding, and skill. Accepting answers equips you with clarity, insight, and direction. This combination creates self-awareness, sharpens decision-making, and enhances problem-solving ability. People who embrace this approach gain a competitive advantage because they act on truth rather than assumption, adjust quickly, and continuously improve. Curiosity is not passive. It demands courage, persistence, and reflection. Each question you ask, each answer you accept, and each insight you apply compounds into knowledge, wisdom, and capability. It is the consistent practice of inquiry and the willingness to confront uncomfortable truths that separates high achievers from those who remain average. By cultivating curiosity intentionally, you create a life of continuous learning, adaptation, and progress. The act of asking hard questions and accepting answers is a commitment to excellence. It requires confronting uncertainty, embracing discomfort, and refusing to settle for superficial understanding. Curiosity drives action because insight generates informed decisions. Insight builds confidence because it is grounded in reality. Insight accelerates growth because it uncovers the changes necessary to improve. Over time, this deliberate practice reshapes mindset, behavior, and results. And curiosity transforms challenges into opportunities. Every problem becomes a question, every setback a lesson, and every interaction a source of insight. By asking hard questions and embracing answers, you develop the ability to respond intelligently and strategically to life's complexities. This approach cultivates resilience, adaptability, and competence. People who master curiosity operate at a higher level of awareness, achieve more with less friction, and attract opportunities because they understand and act on reality effectively. To cultivate curiosity, commit to questioning consistently, listening deeply, reflecting honestly, and applying insights deliberately. Accept answers without resistance, integrate lessons into actions, and remain vigilant against assumptions that limit growth. Each step taken with curiosity compounds into knowledge, skill, and capability. The person who practices this habit daily becomes unstoppable, informed, and prepared. They attract success because they seek truth relentlessly, act decisively, and embrace learning continuously. Number 7, align actions with promises to build trust and credibility. Integrity is the bridge between your words and your results, and it is the foundation of trust, influence, and long-term success. Every promise you make is a declaration of your character, and every action you take either strengthens or erodes that declaration. People judge you not by your intentions or ideas, but by your consistency in following through. Aligning actions with promises is not optional if you want to create credibility that lasts. Trust is earned gradually through repeated demonstrations of reliability, honesty, and accountability, and once it is lost, it is difficult to recover. The simplest way to elevate your influence, leadership, and relationships is to ensure that what you say and what you do are always in harmony. Promises are commitments, whether explicit or implicit. When you commit to something, you are making a statement that others can rely upon. Failure to fulfill that commitment damages your reputation and diminishes influence. Every interaction, task, or agreement is an opportunity to either prove your integrity or weaken it. Acting consistently with your word requires self-awareness, discipline, and deliberate attention to your obligations. It means planning carefully, prioritizing effectively, and refusing to let convenience, distraction, or excuses interfere with what you said you would deliver. Accountability is central to aligning actions with promises. Taking ownership of responsibility shows others that you respect their trust and value your commitments. Accountability requires awareness of deadlines, deliverables, and expectations. It also demands a willingness to acknowledge mistakes promptly and correct them without deflection or justification. People are drawn to individuals who accept responsibility because they provide stability, reliability, and certainty in uncertain environments. Each fulfilled promise strengthens relationships, builds confidence, and attracts opportunities because people trust that you will act consistently. Clarity in promises is essential. Do not make commitments lightly or ambiguously. Clear promises establish boundaries, expectations, and realistic outcomes. Vague or overcommitted promises create confusion, disappointment, and erosion of trust. Before committing, evaluate your capacity, resources, and priorities honestly. Only promise what you can deliver reliably. When others experience clarity and consistency, they gain confidence in your words, respect your judgment, and are more willing to collaborate and invest trust in your leadership. Consistency is the backbone of credibility. One-time follow-through may demonstrate competence, but repeated alignment of action with promises establishes a lasting reputation. Consistency communicates reliability. It signals that you are predictable, in the best sense, someone whose word carries weight and whose commitments are honored. Inconsistent behavior, on the other hand, breeds doubt, hesitancy, and distance. People naturally seek alignment in relationships, partnerships, and leadership, and credibility grows exponentially when actions repeatedly match promises over time. Self-discipline is required to bridge the gap between intention and action. Promises require effort, focus, and sometimes sacrifice to fulfill. It is easy to delay, procrastinate, or prioritize comfort over responsibility. Discipline ensures that you honor your word, regardless of temporary challenges, distractions, or inconvenience. Each fulfilled promise reinforces self-respect and strengthens the perception of your integrity. Discipline is not merely about completing tasks, it is about cultivating a pattern of dependability that others can rely on, without hesitation. Prioritization is crucial when aligning actions with promises. Not all commitments are equally important. Identify promises that have the most impact on your relationships, reputation, and goals, and allocate energy and attention accordingly. Neglecting high-priority promises while focusing on trivial obligations undermines trust. Effective prioritization ensures that resources are directed toward what truly matters, and this demonstrates wisdom, reliability, and respect for others' expectations. When you act strategically, you maximize credibility and minimize the risk of broken commitments. Transparency enhances trust. When circumstances change and you cannot fulfill a promise as originally stated, communicate openly and honestly. Do not hide, rationalize, or delay acknowledgement. Transparency demonstrates respect for others and reinforces credibility, even in the face of challenges. People appreciate honesty because it allows them to plan, adjust, and maintain confidence in your character. By managing expectations proactively, you preserve trust and demonstrate integrity under pressure. Attention to detail strengthens alignment between promises and actions. Commitments are fulfilled not only in outcome, but in quality. Meeting obligations superficially or partially diminishes credibility. True alignment requires thoroughness, preparation, and follow-through to the level expected or promised. Every detail reflects your seriousness, reliability, and professionalism. People notice when promises are executed with care, and consistent quality keeps a reputation for excellence that attracts trust, respect, and new opportunities. Reliability is amplified through proactive planning. Anticipate challenges, obstacles, and potential delays before they arise. Prepare solutions in advance to ensure that your commitments are honored regardless of circumstances. Proactive behavior demonstrates foresight, responsibility, and accountability. By planning carefully, you minimize the risk of failure and reinforce the perception that your word can be trusted. People respond to proactive reliability with loyalty, cooperation, and confidence in your leadership. Empathy plays a role in aligning actions with promises. Understanding the impact of your commitments on others motivates you to follow through with diligence and care. Consider how delays, neglect, or broken promises affect colleagues, clients, friends, or family. Recognizing the stakes reinforces your determination to act consistently and responsibly. Empathy transforms alignment with promises from a mechanical obligation into a meaningful engagement that honors others' trust and strengthens relationships. Adaptability is essential when unexpected challenges threaten promises. Maintaining credibility does not mean rigidity. It requires creative problem solving, flexibility, and resourcefulness. When circumstances change, adjust actions strategically while keeping the essence of your commitment intact. Adaptability ensures that trust is preserved and promises are honored in spirit, even when the original plan cannot be executed perfectly. People respect those who navigate obstacles skillfully while maintaining alignment between word and deed. Reflection reinforces the practice of aligning actions with promises. At the end of each day, evaluate commitments made, actions taken, and results achieved. Identify gaps, areas for improvement, and lessons learned. Reflection creates awareness, strengthens future planning, and ensures continuous growth and integrity. By systematically reviewing promises and follow-through, you build a self-reinforcing habit of reliability that enhances credibility over time. Communication is vital in promise alignment. Clearly convey what you intend to deliver, the expected timeline, and any limitations. Keeping others informed during execution demonstrates accountability, reduces uncertainty, and enhances trust. When actions deviate from initial expectations, timely updates maintain transparency and respect. Communication combined with consistent action strengthens credibility because it demonstrates responsibility, reliability, and professionalism. Boundaries protect your ability to keep promises. Avoid overcommitting, accepting obligations you cannot realistically fulfill, or spreading yourself too thin. Establish clear limits on your time, energy, and resources. Boundaries ensure that promises are kept consistently and without compromise. People respect those who understand their capabilities and act within them, because it demonstrates self-awareness, reliability, and integrity. Controlled focus allows you to follow through on commitments consistently. Accountability systems amplify trustworthiness. Track commitments, deadlines, and progress using tools, reminders, or support systems. Holding yourself accountable ensures that nothing falls through the cracks and reinforces the habit of honoring promises. Accountability also allows you to measure performance, adjust strategies, and improve reliability over time. People notice consistent reliability and respond by placing greater trust in your abilities, judgment, and character. Action aligned with promises drives influence. Words alone have limited impact, but consistent action demonstrates competence, responsibility, and integrity. When people see that you deliver what you say, they rely on you, follow your guidance, and support your initiatives. Influence grows naturally because alignment between word and deed inspires confidence. Those who fail to act consistently erode trust, limit influence, and diminish opportunities. The simple act of following through is a multiplier for credibility, leadership, and long-term success. Every interaction, commitment, and promise is an opportunity to strengthen your reputation. Repeated alignment between promises and actions compounds over time, establishing a pattern of reliability that becomes a defining feature of your character. This consistency opportunities, strengthens relationships, and positions you as a person of authority and trustworthiness. People naturally gravitate toward those whose word carries weight because it reduces uncertainty, increases confidence, and fosters cooperation. Aligning actions with promises transforms potential into tangible results. Each fulfilled commitment demonstrates capability, discipline, and integrity. Each broken commitment diminishes influence, damages relationships, and creates hesitation in others. By making alignment a priority, you cultivate credibility that opens doors, enhances relationships, and builds a foundation for sustained success. The practice requires attention, reflection, discipline, and courage, but the long-term payoff is profound. Integrity is not a one-time choice. It is a habit, cultivated through daily alignment of actions and promises. Plan carefully, act deliberately, and evaluate consistently. Communicate openly, anticipate challenges, and maintain focus on what truly matters. By embodying your commitments in action, you build trust that is unshakable, influence that is magnetic, and a reputation that attracts opportunities naturally. People do not remember what you said. They remember what you did. Reliability and credibility become your signature, and success follows the person who honors every promise. Number 8. Show vulnerability when appropriate to deepen powerful human connections. Strength and connection are not built by hiding who you are, but by showing who you truly are, even when it feels uncomfortable. Vulnerability is not weakness. It is the gateway to authenticity, trust, and profound human connection. Every relationship, whether personal or professional, deepens when people see your genuine self. Hiding emotions, struggles, or uncertainties creates distance and superficiality. Showing vulnerability when appropriate signals courage, honesty, and openness. It allows others to relate, empathize, and engage with you on a deeper level. The courage to reveal your true self attracts trust, loyalty, and collaboration in ways that superficial confidence never can. Many people fear vulnerability because it exposes them to judgment, rejection, or misunderstanding. The reality is that human beings are wired to connect through shared experience and emotion. When you show authenticity, people feel safe to reciprocate. Vulnerability is the bridge that turns ordinary interactions into meaningful relationships. It requires emotional awareness and discernment to know when and how much to share. Timing, context, and relevance matter, but when done consciously, vulnerability amplifies influence, inspires loyalty, and strengthens bonds that endure. To show vulnerability effectively, start with self-awareness. Understand your emotions, triggers, and boundaries before expressing them to others. Awareness ensures that your sharing is intentional rather than reactive. It allows you to communicate your feelings clearly, authentically, and respectfully. Self-awareness also provides resilience, because exposing yourself emotionally can be uncomfortable or even risky. When grounded in clarity and self-understanding, vulnerability becomes a source of empowerment rather than exposure. Honesty is central to vulnerability. Speak truthfully about your experiences, challenges, and uncertainties without exaggeration or concealment. Authenticity resonates deeply because it demonstrates integrity and courage. People are drawn to honesty because it signals that you are trustworthy, relatable, and sincere. Being honest about your limitations, mistakes, or doubts humanizes you, creates empathy, and invites collaboration rather than defensiveness. Vulnerability rooted in truth strengthens credibility, while fostering genuine connection. Empathy enhances the impact of vulnerability. Sharing your experiences in a way that acknowledges and respects the emotions of others encourages reciprocal openness. People respond positively when they sense that your vulnerability is not self-indulgent, but relational. Empathy allows you to connect your personal story to the experiences of others, creating resonance and shared understanding. This relational awareness magnifies influence and deepens the emotional impact of your presence. Courage is required to express vulnerability. It takes bravery to admit uncertainty, ask for help, or reveal a personal struggle. This courage demonstrates confidence and self-respect, because it shows that you are willing to face discomfort rather than hide behind pretense. Courageous vulnerability inspires others to be brave, honest, and open themselves. It creates a ripple effect where authenticity becomes the norm, not the exception, and where genuine collaboration replaces superficial interaction. Boundaries are essential when showing vulnerability. Not every moment or interaction is appropriate for revealing personal struggles or emotions. Discernment ensures that sharing builds trust rather than causing harm, overexposure, or misinterpretation. Choose situations where your vulnerability can create constructive impact, deepen understanding, and foster meaningful connection. Proper boundaries protect your emotional energy while maximizing the relational benefits of authenticity. Storytelling is a powerful tool for vulnerability. Sharing personal experiences, lessons learned, or challenges faced allows others to see your humanity while communicating insight. Stories create context and make abstract emotions tangible. They provide a safe way to reveal struggles, growth, and authenticity without overwhelming or burdening the listener. Skillful storytelling demonstrates courage, reinforces credibility, and inspires empathy, trust, and respect from those around you. Active listening amplifies the effect of your vulnerability. When you share openly, ensure that you also create space for others to respond and relate. Listening without judgment, interruption, or defensiveness signals respect and encourages reciprocity. Vulnerability alone is powerful, but paired with genuine attention to others, it becomes transformative. People remember not only what you reveal, but how you create a space where they feel safe to share themselves. Vulnerability strengthens leadership. Leaders who admit mistakes, acknowledge uncertainty, and share their learning experiences model authenticity for their teams. This transparency fosters trust, accountability, and loyalty. Employees and colleagues are more engaged and motivated when leaders demonstrate courage and honesty. Showing vulnerability in leadership is a strategic choice that inspires respect, collaboration, and higher performance. because it communicates that results matter more than ego or appearances. Consistency and vulnerability builds trust over time. Occasional openness may spark attention, but repeated and reliable authenticity reinforces connection and credibility. Consistent vulnerability signals reliability, emotional maturity, and integrity. People feel safe to engage with someone who shows a genuine, measured, and relatable presence repeatedly. Over time, these small acts of openness compound into deep relationships, mutual respect, and a strong network of support and collaboration. Emotional intelligence underpins effective vulnerability. Recognize the impact of your words and disclosures on others. Adjust tone, timing, and content to ensure your openness fosters connection rather than discomfort or resistance. Awareness of the relational dynamics ensures that vulnerability builds bridges instead of creating unintended friction. Emotionally intelligent vulnerability is deliberate, empathetic, and strategic, enhancing relationships while maintaining dignity, respect, and influence. Learning from mistakes demonstrates a form of vulnerability that strengthens credibility. Admitting errors, reflecting on lessons, and sharing growth transparently shows humility and accountability. People respect individuals who confront shortcomings honestly and proactively seek improvement. This type of vulnerability communicates strength, resilience, and self-awareness, signaling that you are committed to progress rather than image preservation. Mistakes become tools for connection and influence when approached with honesty and openness. Trust is the natural result of vulnerability. When people see that you can express your authentic self safely, they become more willing to reciprocate, confide, and engage. Trust is built faster through controlled, thoughtful vulnerability than through formal assurances or superficial politeness. Each act of openness strengthens bonds, increases alignment, and creates a network of supportive, loyal, and engaged relationships. Trust established through vulnerability is resilient because it is rooted in genuine understanding and shared humanity. Vulnerability promotes collaboration. When individuals reveal their ideas, uncertainties, or needs openly, it invites cooperation, problem-solving, and creative input. Teams function more effectively when members can express themselves without fear of judgment or reprisal. Sharing challenges or limitations encourages others to contribute solutions, resources, or encouragement. By modeling vulnerability, you create a culture of openness, mutual support, and collective intelligence that drives higher performance and shared success. Balance is key to effective vulnerability. Oversharing or expressing emotions inappropriately can be counterproductive. Assess the relevance, timing, and impact of disclosures carefully. Vulnerability should strengthen relationships, inspire trust, and foster empathy, not burden or alienate others. Strategic discernment ensures that every act of openness contributes to meaningful connection, influence, and mutual respect. Self-reflection enhances your ability to show vulnerability wisely. Regularly examine your emotions, experiences, and interactions to understand what is appropriate to share and how it will be received. Reflection allows you to communicate with clarity, emotional control, and relational intelligence. By understanding your internal state, you can express vulnerability intentionally, strengthening trust and connection rather than creating confusion or discomfort. Vulnerability encourages learning and growth. Admitting what you do not know, asking questions, or revealing uncertainties creates space for feedback, insight, and mentorship. It signals that you are open to improvement and value the contributions of others. This mindset attracts guidance, advice, and support from people who might otherwise remain distant or disengaged. By embracing vulnerability as a pathway to learning, you enhance capability, adaptability, and personal development. Courageous vulnerability differentiates leaders, collaborators, and individuals who inspire. It requires willingness to face discomfort, reject pretense, and prioritize authenticity. This courage generates respect, admiration, and loyalty, because people instinctively respond to those who model bravery, honesty, and integrity. The act of sharing yourself openly, strategically, and empathetically magnifies influence and strengthens relationships across all areas of life. Every meaningful human connection begins with authenticity. Vulnerability bridges the gap between surface-level interaction and deep engagement. It allows others to see the real you, understand your motivations, and relate to your experiences. Relationships grounded in authenticity are resilient, rewarding, and mutually enriching. By embracing vulnerability deliberately, you cultivate influence, trust, and collaboration that endure through challenges and opportunities alike. Vulnerability transforms leadership, friendship, partnership, and collaboration into genuine, powerful relationships, Showing who you truly are, expressing challenges and aspirations, and inviting reciprocity creates trust and alignment. This intentional authenticity fosters connection, strengthens influence, and attracts people who value sincerity over pretense. Those who practice vulnerability strategically and consistently build networks of support, loyalty, and engagement that propel success and personal fulfillment. Showing vulnerability is an act of courage, intelligence, and emotional mastery. It requires self-awareness, discernment, honesty, and empathy. When expressed thoughtfully, it deepens connection, builds trust, and enhances influence. Vulnerability allows you to engage meaningfully, inspire collaboration, and create bonds that withstand adversity. People are drawn to authenticity because it signals strength, openness, and humanity. The consistent practice of vulnerability transforms relationships, leadership, and personal impact in ways that superficial confidence never can. Number 9, practice disciplined sacrifice today for rewards you can feel. Discipline is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be, and sacrifice is the fuel that powers it. Rewards that last, that transform your life, do not come from comfort, convenience, or shortcut. They come from deliberate action, repeated effort, and the willingness to give up immediate gratification for long-term gain. Practicing disciplined sacrifice today means choosing actions that may be uncomfortable, inconvenient, or challenging, but that build momentum toward meaningful results tomorrow. It is the decision to endure temporary hardship so you can experience lasting fulfillment. Every achievement, every milestone, and every success story is built on countless small sacrifices. Skipping distractions, delaying pleasure, and prioritizing effort over ease is how ordinary people become extraordinary. Discipline requires focus, planning, and consistency. Sacrifice requires courage and commitment. When combined, they create a powerful engine that converts effort into results. Each day you practice disciplined sacrifice, you strengthen self-control, sharpen focus, and develop resilience that compounds over time. The rewards are not theoretical. They are tangible, felt in confidence, skill, accomplishment, and the sense of forward momentum. Start by identifying what matters most. What goals, values, or outcomes are worth the discomfort of sacrifice? Without clarity, discipline becomes arbitrary, and sacrifice becomes pointless. Knowing your priorities allows you to channel effort toward what truly transforms your life. Every small choice, whether to work, learn, save, or persevere, becomes meaningful when aligned with a clear purpose. Discipline and sacrifice without direction are empty effort. With purpose, they are the tools that shape destiny. Sacrifice requires conscious trade-offs. Every hour spent on idle activity, every impulse indulged, every distraction indulged is an hour, energy, or focus lost forever. Recognize that choosing one path often requires letting go of another. Discipline is the ability to make those choices consistently, even when temporary comfort tempts you away from your long-term goals. Every disciplined decision, no matter how small, compounds into momentum that is impossible to ignore. Each sacrifice builds a sense of control, self-respect, and capability that you can feel physically, mentally, and emotionally. Consistency amplifies the power of disciplined sacrifice. One act of self-control produces results, but repeated, deliberate action compounds success exponentially. Discipline is a daily exercise in choosing long-term benefit over short-term pleasure. Sacrifice is not sporadic. It is habitual. Every day, small decisions add up to significant gains. Each disciplined choice reinforces habits, strengthens character, and accelerates progress. When practiced relentlessly, sacrifice transforms ordinary routines into a lifestyle of achievement and fulfillment. Pain and discomfort are natural companions of disciplined sacrifice. Embracing them rather than avoiding them builds resilience and fortitude. Growth is not comfortable, and neither is the process of earning meaningful rewards. The more you confront and endure challenges intentionally, the stronger your capacity to succeed becomes. Discipline trains the mind to persist when conditions are difficult. Sacrifice teaches patience, humility, and perseverance. Together, they create a foundation that allows you to reap rewards with depth and appreciation. Delayed gratification is the essence of disciplined sacrifice. Every decision to invest time, energy, and effort today yields returns in the future. It may be resisting entertainment to study, working extra hours to build skill, or saving money instead of spending it impulsively. Each choice is a small act of faith in yourself and your goals. The rewards are tangible. They are confidence, competence, freedom, and satisfaction that you feel because you earned them deliberately. This kind of gratification is lasting because it is rooted in effort, not chance. Sacrifice requires self-awareness and honesty. Recognize where you are giving in to weakness, distraction, or convenience. Identify habits, environments, or influences that drain energy and distract from priorities. Discipline grows when you confront your tendencies to avoid discomfort and take responsibility for your actions. The willingness to face yourself, admit where improvement is needed, and act regardless of temporary resistance separates those who achieve from those who stagnate. Sacrifice practiced consciously and intentionally accelerates growth and deepens satisfaction. Time is the most valuable resource when practicing disciplined sacrifice. Every hour is an opportunity to invest in skill, knowledge, relationships, or health. Wasting time on unproductive or low-value activities is a form of surrender to short-term comfort. Discipline ensures that time is used intentionally. Sacrifice guarantees that your efforts align with your most meaningful priorities. Over weeks, months, and years, this consistent investment of time produces rewards that are measurable, felt, and life-changing. Energy management strengthens disciplined sacrifice. Sacrificing for long-term gain is impossible if you are drained, distracted, or overwhelmed. Protect energy through routines, focus, and boundaries. Align effort with your peak moments of clarity and vitality. Sacrifice is more effective when executed with full mental, emotional, and physical presence. Discipline without energy is empty willpower. Sacrifice without sustainability leads to burnout. By preserving energy intentionally, your sacrifices produce maximum impact and rewards that you can feel deeply. Goals must be specific and measurable. To make sacrifice meaningful, abstract ambitions are difficult to translate into daily actions, and discipline becomes vague. Break objectives into clear, actionable steps that require intentional sacrifice. Each step achieved reinforces confidence, demonstrates progress, and validates the discomfort endured. Concrete milestones make disciplined sacrifice tangible. Rewards are not theoretical. They are experiences you can feel, such as pride, accomplishment, recognition, and the satisfaction of knowing that effort is paying off. Sacrifice practiced without focus is wasted effort. Identify the tasks, habits, or investments that produce the highest return on effort. Concentrate your energy where it matters most. Discipline ensures that your actions are purposeful and consistent. Sacrifice ensures that you avoid distractions, excuses, and instant gratification. Together, focus, discipline, and sacrifice create momentum that propels you toward your goals faster than motivation alone ever could. The rewards become real, measurable, and empowering. Patience is integral to disciplined sacrifice. Significant results rarely occur overnight. The discomfort endured today compounds into success over time. Impatience undermines effort, creates shortcuts, and diminishes satisfaction. Discipline requires trust in the process, persistence in action, and faith in eventual reward. Sacrifice exercised consistently, but without patience, produces frustration, not growth. Understanding that delayed results are a natural part of progress allows you to persevere, endure hardship, and experience the deep satisfaction of earned achievement. Accountability enhances disciplined sacrifice. Share your goals and commitments with someone who will hold you responsible. Public commitment strengthens follow-through and reduces the temptation to compromise. Accountability structures your discipline, clarifies priorities, and magnifies the effect of sacrifice. Each fulfilled promise reinforces confidence and fuels momentum, while each lapse highlights areas for adjustment. The combination of personal discipline and external accountability produces rewards you can feel, and both results in character growth. Self-reflection strengthens the practice of sacrifice. Regularly evaluate progress, decisions, and the impact of your efforts. Honest assessment highlights strengths, identifies weaknesses, and reveals areas for improvement. Reflection ensures that sacrifices are meaningful rather than blind effort. Each insight gained reinforces discipline, clarifies priorities, and motivates continued commitment. Reward is experienced not just through outcomes, but through awareness of progress and mastery over yourself. Resilience is developed through consistent sacrifice. Challenges, setbacks, and obstacles are inevitable. Discipline ensures you persist through adversity. Sacrifice ensures that temporary pain or difficulty is endured for long-term gain. Each challenge faced intentionally and overcome builds confidence, capability, and a sense of personal power. The reward is tangible in both accomplishment and inner strength. You can feel it in your confidence, composure, and ability to navigate future challenges with ease. Discipline and sacrifice. Cultivate freedom. By choosing to invest effort today, you create opportunities tomorrow. Financial stability, professional growth, personal mastery, and meaningful relationships all require deliberate trade-offs. Freedom is earned, not granted, and it is felt most profoundly when you see the tangible results of your disciplined choices. Sacrifice builds independence, resilience, and capability. Discipline ensures that this process is continuous and purposeful. Each day of effort compounds into the life you desire, and the reward is unmistakable and real. Focus on one sacrifice at a time for maximum impact. Attempting to give up too much or pursue too many goals simultaneously dilutes effort and weakens results. Discipline thrives on clarity, repetition, and commitment to the most important priority. Sacrifice becomes meaningful when applied strategically rather than haphazardly. Each targeted sacrifice produces immediate feedback, measurable progress, and emotional reinforcement. Feeling the rewards strengthens motivation and solidifies the habit of disciplined effort. Vision fuels disciplined sacrifice. When you know exactly what you want and why it matters, giving up temporary comfort becomes easier. Sacrifice is purposeful when tied to meaningful outcomes. Discipline becomes sustainable when guided by a clear picture of the benefits ahead. Each effort, each delay of gratification, and each moment of discomfort is connected to a vision you can see, feel, and ultimately achieve. The more vivid and compelling your vision, the more powerfully you experience the rewards of disciplined sacrifice. Discipline and sacrifice practiced today produce tangible, emotional, and lasting rewards. You will feel the growth in confidence, capability, focus, and resilience. You will see results in skills, relationships, finances, and opportunities. You will experience satisfaction in knowing that every uncomfortable choice, every delayed pleasure, and every committed effort is building a foundation for success. Rewards are real. They are measurable, and they are felt deeply because they are earned deliberately. Sacrifice today is the currency that buys the life you want tomorrow, and disciplined action ensures that the investment compounds into achievement, fulfillment, and strength beyond imagination. Number 10, commit to uncomfortable growth that most people refuse to pursue. Growth begins where comfort ends, and courage begins. And true transformation requires a willingness to face what most people refuse to touch. The path of uncomfortable growth is not easy, convenient, or predictable. It demands discipline, persistence, and a readiness to confront fears, weaknesses, and limitations directly. While others avoid challenge, seek safety, or cling to familiarity, committing to growth means stepping into uncertainty, embracing struggle, and actively pursuing improvement in every area of life. This is where extraordinary individuals separate themselves from the average, where potential becomes power, and where meaningful success is earned rather than given. Most people resist growth because it exposes vulnerability, highlights inadequacy, and requires effort beyond habitual comfort. They remain in familiar routines, avoid risks, and limit their potential to what is easy or familiar. Committing to uncomfortable growth requires recognizing that comfort is the enemy of progress. Every choice to endure challenge, embrace difficulty, and act intentionally in the face of resistance strengthens resilience, expands capability, and develops character that others admire and respect. Growth is a deliberate decision to face discomfort today for extraordinary outcomes tomorrow. To pursue growth, identify the areas where you are holding back. Examine habits, knowledge, skills, and mindset critically. Determine where complacency, fear, or avoidance have created limitations. Awareness of these gaps is essential because you cannot improve what you cannot see. Facing uncomfortable truths about yourself is the first act of courage. This honesty may sting, provoke doubt, or challenge long-held beliefs, but it is necessary for real progress. Growth begins with seeing reality clearly and refusing to settle for mediocrity. Action is the heart of growth. Knowledge and intention are meaningless without execution. Committing to uncomfortable growth requires deliberately seeking challenges, stretching abilities, and embracing tasks that feel daunting. Each time you tackle something difficult, whether learning a new skill, taking on responsibility, or addressing personal weaknesses, you expand capacity and build confidence. The process may be uncomfortable, slow, and exhausting, but every step reinforces the muscle of persevere. Those who consistently act in the face of discomfort achieve results that others only dream of. Discomfort is the signal that growth is occurring. When you feel resistance, fear, or tension, it is not a sign to retreat, but a sign that progress is imminent. Most people run from discomfort, but those who embrace it transform challenges into opportunity. Feeling awkward, uncertain, or unskilled is part of the process. Growth is not about being perfect instantly. It is about persisting through difficulty, learning from mistakes, and incrementally improving. Each moment of discomfort endured today strengthens resilience, confidence, and competence tomorrow. Commitment requires discipline. Growth is not optional, sporadic, or passive. It is the result of consistent, deliberate, and intentional effort. Daily actions, no matter how small, compound into remarkable results over time. Discipline ensures that you do not give in to temptation, excuses, or fear. Sacrifice of comfort and convenience is required, because meaningful growth never occurs in an environment of ease. Each act of perseverance reinforces your ability to endure, adapt, and succeed where others quit. Reflection amplifies the impact of uncomfortable growth. Regularly evaluate progress, setbacks, and lessons learned. Honest self-assessment allows you to adjust strategies, refine focus, and maximize the results of effort. Without reflection, growth is haphazard and inefficient. By observing patterns, identifying strengths and weaknesses, and making informed adjustments, you accelerate progress and avoid repeating mistakes. Reflection transforms struggle into insight, discomfort into knowledge, and effort into measurable achievement. Fear is a constant companion on the path of growth, but it is also a signal of opportunity. Fear indicates areas where potential exists but remains untapped. Facing fear directly builds courage, resilience, and confidence. Those who commit to growth move toward fear rather than away from it, turning anxiety into action. Fear lost through deliberate confrontation becomes a source of strength and empowerment. Each challenge overcome reinforces the belief that you can achieve more than you previously imagined. Learning is inseparable from uncomfortable growth. Every new skill, perspective, or insight requires stepping outside familiarity. Curiosity, experimentation, and openness are essential, because growth is impossible without learning. Embrace mistakes as feedback, not failure. Every error provides insight into what works, what does not, and what adjustments are necessary. Those willing to be students of life, continuously learning and adapting, accumulate knowledge, skill, and wisdom that become competitive advantages. Persistence is essential, because growth is rarely linear. Setbacks, failures, and delays are inevitable. Committing to growth means refusing to quit, adapting when necessary, and using challenges as fuel for further effort. Resilience in the face of difficulty differentiates achievers from quitters. The discomfort you endure today compounds into confidence, capability, and results tomorrow. Every obstacle faced with persistence reinforces the foundation of personal strength and long-term success. Accountability accelerates growth. Sharing your goals, commitments, and progress with mentors, peers, or trusted partners increases focus and follow-through. External accountability reinforces internal discipline and provides objective feedback. Those who seek guidance, accept critique, and act on advice move faster and with greater precision. Accountability ensures that discomfort is not wasted, but channeled into measurable improvement and tangible achievement. Adaptability strengthens growth. In unpredictable environments, challenges and obstacles rarely follow a script, and rigidity limits progress. Commit to growth by remaining flexible in approach, learning from circumstances and adjusting strategies without abandoning objectives. Adaptability ensures that discomfort becomes an advantage rather than a barrier. Those who can pivot, respond intelligently, and maintain effort under changing conditions achieve success that others cannot reach. Vision sustains commitment to growth. Clarity about desired outcomes, values, and purpose motivates action. Even when the path is uncomfortable, a compelling vision turns temporary hardship into meaningful progress. Every sacrifice, struggle, and effort gains significance when tied to a clear and compelling goal. Vision transforms discomfort into direction, frustration into focus, and effort into achievement that is both tangible and deeply satisfying. Relationships are strengthened through shared growth. Surround yourself with individuals who challenge, inspire, and support your pursuit of uncomfortable growth. Engage with mentors, peers, and collaborators who model courage, discipline, and accountability. Growth occurs faster in environments that encourage risk-taking, honest feedback, and deliberate effort. Connection with others on the same path provides encouragement, perspective, and reinforcement during moments of doubt or difficulty. Emotional resilience is cultivated by embracing discomfort. Growth exposes insecurities, limitations, and fears. Responding constructively, maintaining composure, and continuing deliberate effort builds emotional strength. Each encounter with adversity strengthens confidence, patience, and self-mastery. Those willing to experience discomfort and continue moving forward develop a level of poise, adaptability, and inner strength that distinguishes high achievers from the majority. Commitment to uncomfortable growth requires consistent action. Progress is measured not by intention, but by effort, applied over time. Daily choices to stretch, learn, and act in the face of difficulty compound into skill, confidence, and result. Small, consistent steps reinforce habit, reduce resistance, and build momentum that propels long-term success. Discipline ensures that discomfort is converted into achievement rather than avoided, wasted, or ignored. Self-trust grows when you commit to growth. Others avoid. Every time you face difficulty and persevere, you demonstrate reliability, capability, and courage to yourself. Confidence is strengthened by evidence of consistent effort in uncomfortable situations. Trust in yourself accelerates decision-making, action, and ambition. People are drawn to individuals who consistently act with courage and integrity, because self-trust is visible and contagious. Gratitude intensifies the rewards of uncomfortable growth. Acknowledge the progress, lessons, and capabilities gained through deliberate effort. Recognizing growth reinforces motivation, validates sacrifice, and enhances satisfaction. Gratitude turns challenges endured into accomplishments. Celebrated and provides emotional reinforcement that fuels continued effort. Those who appreciate the value of struggle experience joy, pride, and confidence that others miss. Commitment to uncomfortable growth transforms potential into results, limitations into capability, and ordinary effort into extraordinary achievement. It requires discipline, courage, persistence, and clarity. Each step outside comfort, each challenge faced, each skill acquired, and each fear confronted compounds into power, confidence, and influence. While most people choose the path of least resistance, those who embrace discomfort deliberately shape lives of meaning, impact, and accomplishment. The rewards are tangible, real, and felt deeply in every success, decision, and relationship cultivated along the way.